cemetery now. Sure where I'm heading, but we're trying to find the burial site of one of the colourful characters of Australian criminal history. I'll probably just pull over somewhere here and we'll have a look and try and find where he is. Driving around for a little bit now trying to find the grave that we're going to visit. I think I found it now. We're in the Jewish section. The sign says 23C. We go down here. Go down here. 23D. On our left 23A, so this is the section, so we'll park up and we'll walk down and try and find Abe Saffron. Okay, welcome back to Talk at Your Headstones. You're with KC and we're at Rookwood Cemetery today, and we're going to visit one of Sydney's colourful identities, criminal mastermind, the Mr. Sin, the Mr. Big. And he's in the Jewish cemetery, section 23A. So we'll take a walk down and we'll try and find his final burial place. So we'll just take a walk down to find his final resting place. Said he's in the Jewish cemetery section 23A, which is a bit hard to find because this cemetery, Rookwood, is so big. It's believed to be the largest cemetery in the southern hemisphere. So just past Gerald Kuhlman, if we turn left and we head up this way, we'll come to his grave. Okay, so here we are at Abe's final resting place. I'll just read a bit about Abe Saffron's early career, his criminal career. So Abe Saffron was born in the 6th of October 1919, 15th of September 2006 he passed away. He was an Australian hotelier, nightclub owner and property developer who was one of the major figures in organised crime in Australia in the latter half of the 20th century. For several decades, members of the government, the judiciary, and the media made repeated allegations that Saffron was involved in a wide range of criminal activities, including alcohol sales, dealing in stolen goods, illegal gambling, prostitution, drug dealing, bribery, and extortion. He was charged with a range of offences, including scandalous conduct, possession of an unlicensed firearm, and possession of stolen goods. But his only major conviction was for federal tax evasion, a la Al Capone. He gained nationwide notoriety in the media, earning various nicknames, including Mr. Sin, the Mr. Big of Australian crime, and the Boss of the Cross, King of the Cross, a reference to the King's Cross red light district where he owned numerous businesses. So way before John Ibrahim and the Golden Mile, Abe Saffron was peddling his wares around the cross. His early life. Saffron was born in Annandale, New South Wales in 1919 of Russian Jewish descent. He was educated at Annandale and Leichhardt primary schools and at the selective Fort Street High School. Although his mother hoped he'd become a doctor, Saffron left school at 15 and began his business career in the family drapery firm in the 1930s. Upon leaving on the 5th of August 1940, Saffron enlisted in the Australian Army and was promoted to the rank of corporal before his discharge in January 1944. Saffron is reputed to have served in the Merchant Navy. However, Saffron's name does not appear in the Merchant Navy category of Department of Veteran Affairs. Upon leaving the Merchant Navy, he became involved with the notorious Sydney light club called the Roosevelt Club, co-owned by prominent Sydney businessman, in inverted commas, Sammy Lee. It is claimed that Saffron began his rise to power in the Sydney underworld through his involvement in the lucrative sale of black market alcohol at the Roosevelt. At the time, New South Wales clubs and pubs are subject to strict licensing laws which limited trading hours and regulated alcohol prices and sale conditions. When Saffron began working at the Roosevelt, alcohol sales were also subject to wartime rationing regulations. A subsequent Royal Commission into the New South Wales liquor trade heard evidence that in the early 1950s, the Roosevelt Club was clearing over £1,000 a week in alcohol sales, of which only £100 was being banked as liquor takings. In 1947, Saffron, in partnership with Hilton, Granville, Kincaid, and Mendel Brunnen, took over the ownership of the Roosevelt. In January 1953, the club was closed after being declared a disorderly house by the New South Wales Police Commissioner. After Saffron sold the Roosevelt, it was able to reopen. Saffron then relocated to Newcastle, where he worked there for a time as a bookmaker, but it has been reported that he was not very successful. So later on in his criminal career, Saffron was linked with the involvement to the infamous ghost train fire at Luna Park in 1979, when a suspected arson attack destroyed the popular ride, killing 7 people. In an interview with the Herald, journalist Kate McClymont, Saffron's niece Anne Buckingham, linked Saffron to the fire, stating that her uncle liked to collect things and that he intended to purchase Luna Park. So with the Luna Park, there was 7 people who died. 6 of them were children. So at the end of this video, I'll put up their names to remember them, and so they can, hopefully they're resting in peace. So in March 2021, the ABC television broadcast a 3-part investigative documentary series, Exposed the Ghost Train. So a few weeks ago, I did a video at Luna Park. I'll put that up. I think I had where I was thinking the ghost train was is the wrong place. It was actually, the ghost train was, according to Luna Park, was where the Big Top now is, not where I think it's a Luna Cafe is. But maybe when they reopened the Luna Cafe was when they reopened in the 80s after the fire, maybe that's where the new ghost train was located, but there is no ghost train there anymore. So behind me is now called the Lunar Lounge, where the ghost train used to be. So in March of 2021, ABC television had an investigative documentary series, The Ghost Train Fire, which directly implicated Saffron in an arson plot at Luna Park, Sydney in 1979, resulting in the deaths of 7 people, including 6 children. Former senior police officer testified on camera that Saffron ordered the crime, which was swiftly and systematically covered up by corrupt police and government figures. Saffron always vigorously denied such accusations and was renowned for the extent to which he was willing to sue for libel against the accusers. One of the other most contentious incidents in Saffron's career was the rumoured involvement in the disappearance and presumed murder of newspaper publisher and anti-development campaigner Juanita Nielsen. In July 1975, although no direct connection to the crime was ever established, Saffron was shown to have proven connections with several people suspected of being involved in Nielsen's disappearance. Saffron owned the Carousel nightclub in King's Cross, where Nielsen was last seen on the day of her disappearance. His long-serving deputy, James McCartney Anderson, managed the club. One of the men later convicted of conspiring to kidnap Nielsen was Eddie Trigg, the night manager of the club. It was also reported that Saffron had financial links with developer Frank Thiemann, against whose development Nielsen was campaigning. So that's a bit about Abe Saffron. This is his final resting place. His family obviously love him, but he was a very awful, terrible man. So we'll just leave it at that. So once again, thanks for joining me on another episode of Talking Headstones. If you like this video, give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time on another episode of Talking Headstones. Bye for now.